Well, the manufacturer of the only FDA-approved monkeypox vaccine is pushing back on the agency's plans to split doses in order to get more shots out of each vial. Bavarian Nordic says that there is limited safety data available. The Biden administration says that these concerns do not impact its vaccine strategy. So Dr. David Agus is joining us now to talk a little bit more about this and answer some of your questions about monkeypox and COVID-19, and for that matter, polio as well. So I had the same question. You know, halving a dose is one thing, but 1/5 of a dose? What's your take on the FDA's recommendation?
So what they're doing is 1/5 of a single dose vial. So 5 people will get what one person had gotten before. But instead of injecting under the skin like they classically do, it would be into the skin, what we call intradermal. And there's evidence from a study, actually Bavarian Nordic was part of the study, showing that there was an increased immune response when you did that. I do think it's the right decision to do it, but I think they also should have mandated that they collect data afterwards to know if it worked and potentially to improve if it wasn't as good. We have no choice but to do this, unfortunately, because in the near term, we're not going to have more vaccines. And this is a way to give immunity to everybody who needs it in the country if it's done right.
Okay, so this person, doctor, is asking if there are any notable side effects to the monkeypox vaccine.
No, I mean, it's a remarkably well-tolerated vaccine with obviously pain with injection site, a little bit of fever afterwards. The classic things we see with vaccines, certainly not severe side effects or serious side effects seen at the present time, although only a limited number of people to date have been injected with this vaccine.
So this question comes from someone who's wondering if they need to wear gloves and a mask to protect themselves from monkeypox.
It depends where they are, I think is the answer, is that right now, monkeypox is spread through touching an open lesion. It's not spread through touching surfaces or through the air. Always possible, but hasn't really happened. And so it's open lesions. If you're around people or you are in a high-risk situation, then you probably should step back from that situation. The mask and the gloves probably are not going to help because it's all skin in the body that matters. The real key here is that if you have any lesions or symptoms, go to get tested, and hopefully then we can stop spread. There's a lot of it going on now in the country, and it's certainly scary in that regard.
So, doctor, everyone who gets monkeypox doesn't necessarily get that rash, right? And I could be wrong. And if that's the case, could you have monkeypox but not spread it if you don't have a rash?
Yeah. We certainly think so, is that there certainly are going to be asymptomatic people, and they probably will not spread it. What we think now is that the dominant mode of spread is through an open lesion, a sore. You touch that sore, it can then get on your skin and cause a lesion there, and that's the portal of entry of the virus.
And just one last follow-up on that, doctor. So if you become infected with monkeypox, do you still need the vaccine, or is the vaccine only for people who've not been infected but are worried about it?
That's a great question. So there's data now, and I think what we're doing is that people have been exposed to it. If you then give them the vaccine before it's manifest, you can significantly decrease the symptoms. So if you've been in a high-risk exposure potential, you need to go to your doctor, tell she or him that, and then they can do an injection of the vaccine to offer you protection. After it's manifest, we do have a drug that is out. It's hard to get, way too hard to get than it should be, and we have doses in the United States that stop monkeypox cold. It was developed for smallpox and works against monkeypox. We have to get more of it out to the people who need it.
All right, I got a COVID-19 question for you. So this question comes from someone whose wife had COVID a month ago. Now this person has COVID, and they want to know, should they be wearing a mask? Should they be, keeping their distance from their wife? What should they be doing?
So what this goes down to is that if it's the same variant of COVID-19, you probably have some protection. So if you had it, your wife has it a month later, you're probably protected if it's the same variant. But that if is the key question. While BA.5 is the dominant variant in the United States, it's not the only one. So if it's really a month, I would use caution, and I probably would stay away from your wife until she tests negative or 2 days without symptoms.
Finally, doctor, there's a question here about polio. Health officials in London are offering polio boosters for children after the virus was detected in wastewater. Should we be concerned about a resurgence here in the United States? I know occasionally from time to time they pop up in some communities.
So, I mean, when it rains, it pours, right? COVID-19, monkeypox, polio. We've had a case of polio in one of the counties outside New York City. In London, there haven't been cases yet, but it's turned up in many areas of the city in the wastewater. And it's of concern because there's a large cohort, both in the United States and the United Kingdom, that has not been vaccinated. They've turned down or refused vaccination from polio, and they are very high risk of the virus and then potentially paralysis from the virus. So, in the UK, they're just spreading out the vaccine. I think in the end, we may do the same thing here in certain counties in the United States because it looks to be high in those counties. Those are counties that have very low vaccination rates. Most of the countries in the 90s, these are counties that are in the 60s and the 70s. So we need that vaccine. It works. And I think that's the key here. If you're vaccinated, you're going to be okay. But lots of people are not vaccinated, especially children.
All right. Dr. David Agus, always great to have you, doctor. Thank you.